Imagine this. Your website's contact form, the simple thing that lets visitors send you messages, could be the very door hackers use to take over your entire WordPress site. A new vulnerability, tracked as CVE-2025-4665, has just been disclosed, and it affects one of the most popular WordPress plugins, Contact Form CFDB7. The flaw is rated critical with a CVSS score of 9.6, and what makes it worse is that attackers don't even need an account to exploit it. In this video, we'll break down what makes this vulnerability so dangerous, how it works, and what steps site owners need to take right now to protect themselves. For those unfamiliar, Contact Form CFDB7 is a WordPress plugin that works as an extension to Contact Form 7, one of the most downloaded form plugins in WordPress history. Its main job is simple. It stores form submissions in the website's database so you can view, export, or manage them later. Millions of sites rely on it because it's lightweight, free, and easy to use, no setup, no coding required. But that convenience comes at a cost. When a plugin that handles user input doesn't properly validate that input, things can go very wrong. Researchers discovered that in versions up to and including 1.32, CFDB7 fails to properly sanitize certain user-supplied parameters in one of its endpoints. This makes it vulnerable to SQL injection, one of the oldest yet still most devastating web security flaws. With SQL injection, an attacker can send specially crafted data that manipulates database queries. Instead of retrieving a normal list of form entries, the database might execute an injected command, one that exposes user data, credentials, or even drops entire tables. But it doesn't stop there. The injected data can also lead to insecure deserialization, meaning attackers could trigger PHP object injection, a way to make the server load and execute malicious PHP code objects. In simpler terms, a hacker could go from sending a fake contact form entry to executing arbitrary code on your web server. What makes CVE-2025-4665 particularly dangerous is that it's pre-authentication, no login required, no special privileges needed. A hacker can target the vulnerable site remotely, using only crafted HTTP requests. If successful, they could manipulate the site's database, exfiltrate sensitive information, or even deploy malware and backdoors. Depending on the hosting setup, this could escalate to a complete system compromise, turning a simple website into part of a larger botnet or phishing infrastructure. The fact that it involves object injection also opens the door to chaining other PHP vulnerabilities, leading to even deeper infiltration. Before we dive deeper, if you're finding this breakdown helpful, take a second to like this video, subscribe, and share it with others who run WordPress sites. It really helps the channel grow and lets YouTube recommend Infosec news to more people who care about cybersecurity and online safety. Your small click genuinely helps more site owners stay protected. As of now, there's no public proof of concept exploit for this vulnerability, and no signs of active exploitation have been detected. That's good news, for the moment. But in the world of WordPress vulnerabilities, there's often a race between disclosure and exploitation. Once a flaw like this becomes public, attackers usually begin scanning the internet within days, looking for outdated sites to target. The CFDB7 plugin is installed on thousands of active websites, meaning that the attack surface is massive. The fix is straightforward. Update immediately. If you're using Contact Form CFDB7 version 1.32 or earlier, upgrade to the latest release from the WordPress plugin repository. Developers have reportedly patched the input validation issues to prevent SQL injection and object injection vectors. But patching isn't the only step. Admins should also apply web application firewall rules to block suspicious SQL-like input, restrict plugin permissions, ensure only trusted users can update or install plugins, audit all plugins for outdated code or insecure endpoints, and monitor database logs for unusual query patterns that might indicate attempted exploitation. This vulnerability is another reminder that plugins are often the weakest link in WordPress security. Even well-intentioned developers can overlook critical sanitization checks, and a single oversight can open the door for attackers. As a site owner, it's crucial to treat every plugin as potential code execution on your system. Regular updates, active monitoring, and selective plugin installation are not optional, they're fundamental defenses. The fewer plugins you use, the smaller your attack surface. CVE-2025-4665 shows how even a simple feature like a contact form can become a serious attack vector when input validation fails. If you run a WordPress site, check your plugins, patch immediately, and stay proactive, not reactive, about security. The next big compromise could start with something as harmless as a message form. Stay safe, stay updated, and subscribe to Infosec News for more deep dive breakdowns of real-world vulnerabilities and how to protect against them.